Phil Keown hosts National Geographic. It's pretty sad when these educated people, who have never actually proven what they talk about, yet put down other educated people who actually do prove what they are talking about. And that goes for National Geographic reporter Mariana Van Zeller. As you will see in this video they produced for National Geographic. To me this makes them hypocrites or possibly deceivers. I'll let you be the judge of that.
You'd think that with the beautiful photographs that we have of our round blue planet, it would convince any doubters. But there are still some who insist that the world is flat.
This is what flat Earth looks like. We not only believe the Earth is a level plane, we take the time to prove Earth is not a ball in an infinite vacuum.
Correspondent Mariana Van Zeller discovers more about this fast-growing movement in California.
That's the famous blue marble that everybody's seen. Well, let me tell you something about that famous shot. It's not a photo at all, man. It was made in Photoshop. Cause there ain't no photographs, but somebody tell me why. They're all just...
Are you really convinced that these are real photographs of Earth taken from space? Here is the blue marble photograph from Apollo 17 in 1972. We all believed it to be a true photo, but look what happens when I adjust the gamma on these shots. When you take a photograph there are no artifacts like these pixelated squares around the image. This is signs that image is man-made and a composite image. That shows NASA has been lying to us. Michael Collins, one of the Apollo 11 crew, is supposed to have taken this photo in 1969. There is a video of the Apollo 11 crew faking this Earth photo from Earth and marked the day when they were supposed to be halfway to the moon. That video can be found in a video named "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon." Michael Collins did not take the photo, as we again see the huge amount of pixels that cameras just do not produce. This is another hoax played on the world by NASA and the Apollo 11 crew. NASA means deceive. They even have a serpent's tongue in their logo and have been deceiving the public since 1958. They receive billions of dollars every year to deceive us in order to hide God, Jesus and flat Earth. Mariana Van Zeller is a Peabody Award-winning Portuguese journalist and correspondent for the National Geographic Channel. She is about to destroy her integrity and credibility as she tries to discredit flat Earth and flat earthers. More than 5 million people were deceived by this National Geographic video due to lying and using trickery and delusion.
I'm Mariana Van Zeller, and I'm in Southern California to look into a growing movement in America. People who claim the Earth is flat. They call themselves the Flat Earthers, and we're here to try to understand what's behind this unconventional view and how it can affect the rest of us.
My claim is that these people have rigged this event and are dishonest, as I will show throughout this video. I will demonstrate why I believe I am correct.
Mark and his fellow flat earthers seem to be pretty convinced that the Earth is flat and that we've all been lied to for all these years. But I'm interested in knowing what kind of impact this might have, not only for science, but for society at large. So we're heading to meet with an astrophysicist that we hope can answer some of these questions.
She is going to see an astrophysicist, James Bullock, who makes his living teaching students about the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory has yet to be proven. Not the best person to go to learn facts about reality.
The universe began about 14 billion years ago in an event that we call the Big Bang.
James Bullock is a professor of physics and astronomy at the University of California, Irvine. He specializes in how galaxies form.
She says he specializes in how galaxies form, yet to my knowledge no one has ever seen a galaxy form. Again, not the greatest person to learn about reality. He teaches theories that have never been proven.
Did you ever think a few years ago that you'd be having this discussion for National Geographic?
It's frankly shocking. We've known for 2,000 years, based on observations you can make with your own eyes, that the world is round.
But they have all the evidence right in front of them and they still choose not to believe in it.
You know, who knows what motivates people from the inside to believe these things? But science is important.
Again, he teaches theories yet to be proven. We flat Earth researcher debunked the heliocentric model. So I say the science he is talking about is theoretical and does not help at all. He should be scared because flat Earth researchers use their science to debunk their lies. Their globe curvature math debunks the globe model of a 25,000-mile round ball. I agree that science is important and valuable. He teaches theories and that's not the science that our flat earth needs. So he is saying things to try and discredit flat earth truth. The thing is they cannot debunk flat earth, so they resort to trickery and deception to make us look ignorant and stupid. We are not ignorant and we are definitely not stupid.
Science is valuable. Science saves lives, it makes our lives better and more comfortable, and it enriches us intellectually. And to question what scientists are saying and suggest that they're part of some massive international global conspiracy, it's really scary.
Are they a threat to the work that you do as a scientist?
If, say, governments stop funding science because of some kind of anti-science, anti-intellectual feedback they're getting from the populace, that's when it really starts getting dangerous for our civilization.
The truth is he is funded by the government with our money. Flat Earth frightens him because it threatens his livelihood. His theories will go up in smoke and he will be on the streets. Okay. Enough small talk. Let me show you how these deceivers are going to make Flat Earth truthers look ridiculous. And it has nothing to do with honest experiments and everything to do with illusions and perceptions.
And as the war on science heats up, some Americans are fighting back.
We're heading to the largest lake in California to meet the Independent Investigations Group, which is a group that essentially debunks paranormal claims. And they want to do a round Earth test, basically a test that will prove that the Earth is not flat, but that it is round.
So her claim is they are going to do a test that prove Earth is not flat but it is round. I am going to show they know they cannot prove that and have to resort to deceiving rather than proving.
Let's go. We're ready to launch. You ready, Craig?
James, how are you?
Okay.
Okay, so what's happening here right now?
Okay, this is the boat-based target. It's horizontal stripes.
James Underdown is deceiving the viewers with this illusion. The dark stripe on the target makes one think it's centered, but it isn't. Notice there is a white stripe at the top. 3 stripes above the dark stripe. Notice only 2 stripes below the dark stripe, which is deceptive. This is not an accidental error, it is an intentional deception to deceive their viewers as well as the flat earth researchers there to observe. I do not make these accusations lightly. The facts speak for themselves, but done so well that no one spots them. This is exactly what they want, and it is to discredit flat earthers so that the people who believe the globe model deception will not question the video and they too will believe we are stupid and lack intelligence. It's quite devious to say the least. Keep your eye on the target as a drone flies over them. There are 3 stripes above the dark stripe. However, there are only 2 stripes below the dark stripe. Again, it's a deliberate illusion to make the viewers believe the dark stripe is the center when it is not.
We're going to launch a small boat out into the water here with a striped target. Come on, Betty! And as it gets farther and farther out, you'll start to lose the stripes.
Again, the reason there are 3 stripes above the dark stripe but only 2 stripes below it is to give the illusion the dark stripe is the center. It psychologically deceives the viewer into believing there is more stripes blocked by curvature. This is vital to understand so you will see the illusion and break the spell of deception. So please watch closely as they are deceiving you. It is one thing to fool or misdirect an audience when it's a magic trick. We are not watching this to see a magic show, as they are supposed to be proving the globe model and disproving flat Earth. There is no other way of saying it. They are deceiving you to keep you believing in the globe while trying to make fools of flat Earth truthers. Let's look at the striped target again. Look at the guy holding the target. Let's say he is 6 feet tall. 6 stripes means they are 1 foot each, correct? Notice the waves are at least 6 inches in height. They're not big waves by any stretch of the imagination. However, they are big enough to hide at least 6 inches or more of a 1 foot high stripe. Would you agree with that statement? The height of the camera lens is really important to this observation. The camera is about 3 feet or less above the water. This low perspective will take advantage of the height of the waves when it comes to blocking the bottom stripe of the target. Remember, the goal of this experiment is to prove curvature and debunk flat Earth truthers. They cannot prove curvature, as flat earthers have been proving for years, so they have to be able to deceive both the viewers as well the flat earthers. As the boat is heading out, notice the waves may actually be a foot high out there, meaning they could block the entire bottom stripe, which is 1 foot high.
So it'll be a very visual depiction of the curvature of the Earth.
He says this will be a very visual depiction of the curvature of the Earth. By saying this, he is talking about the striped target that is designed to fool the viewer into thinking the dark stripe is the center. This shows him as a deceiver, as he is planting false thoughts in the mind of the viewers. Keep that in mind. Please. I'm sure they invited Mark Sargent and the other flat earth truthers to see this experiment. Of course they showed up because they know there is no curvature. They have no idea this is a psyop to deceive them. This is an operation to make flat earth look foolish and uneducated. But why? The answer is simple. It is so anyone wondering about flat earth will no longer want to even bother. Think about it. If they could really prove the globe, why would they have to do all these deceptions in the first place?
And what's really interesting is that some of the flat earthers, including Mark Sargent, are actually going to be here for this test. They want to see it for themselves. What do you think is going to happen here today?
I appreciate a scientific group coming out and trying to do this test. Great. Appreciate the enthusiasm. But cannot work.
Cannot work?
I'm ready. Bring it up.
So it's starting?
Yeah.
Okay, so the test is starting. It's starting right now.
At first, all the stripes are clearly visible. But sure enough, as the boat reaches the horizon, the stripes begin to disappear one by one.
It's pretty amazing. You can actually see it pretty clearly with this camera here. And you see...
I thought the camera guy's camera was 3 feet above the water. Looking at this image again made me get out my own tripod and measure it. His tripod is no more than 2 feet above the water, as they are right at the water's edge. This means they have an even lower perspective. With 1-foot waves it's even easier to have them blocking a 1-foot stripe. I missed this at first. It was Jaron from the Jaronism YouTube channel who pointed this out in his video. I need to point out something here that is vitally important. If they were already experiencing 1 foot of curvature, as they claim, there would not be water visible behind them. It's the little things happening in the background that most viewers miss, and it's why we have to really pay attention. These people are definitely deceiving us while playing us for fools. Her statement, disappearing one by one, implies more than one stripe is blocked. She is misleading the viewers. The bottom red stripe is the only stripe that has blockage, and it's not even fully blocked. Take a look at those waves. The waves are close to a foot high and would block just about what we see in this image. These people are deliberately deceiving you along with the flat earthers. It has nothing at all to do with curvature blocking the red stripe. It is just small waves. Take another look at the 6-foot target. There are 6 stripes, each one is a foot high. Again, notice the dark stripe is not in the middle. There is less than 1 stripe blocked, and it was due to a 1-foot wave. She says it's now getting closer to middle green. That statement was incorrect. The red stripe has not disappeared. The green is not in the middle. She's deceiving the viewers.
That the red stripe that was at the bottom has completely disappeared, and it's now getting closer to sort of the middle green.
Let's continue. Now pay attention to the cameraman make this claim, which is not true. There is 1.5 bars blocked. And she asks a leading question. This can only happen why? Prompting his scripted response, because of the curvature of the Earth.
Stripe that is?
So we've lost about 1.5 stripes.
Right. So this can only happen why?
Because of the curvature of the Earth. So here's what we were shooting.
But Mark Sargent and the other flat earthers have a very different interpretation of the results.
Here is a quick review of what I personally believe took place. 1. I clearly showed National Geographic deliberately deceived the viewers with the illusion that the dark stripe on the target was actually the center of the target. 2. I believe the target was designed with 3 stripes above the dark line and only 2 stripes below it to trick the minds of the viewer into thinking the dark stripe was in the center. 3. The reporter made the claim that the stripes were disappearing one by one. This was misleading, as the red stripe was the only stripe disappearing. Her comment implies more than one. 4. The reporter said the red stripe was completely disappeared. 5. I showed the target and proved that the red stripe had not completely disappeared. 6. I pointed out that the waves at the shore as well as out on the water were about a foot high and could easily block part of the red stripe. 7. The reporter said the water was getting closer to the middle dark stripe. That statement was deliberate and meant to mislead the viewers. 8. The cameraman claimed that 1.5 stripes were blocked. Again, I showed that only the bottom red stripe was being blocked. The cameraman was misleading the viewers as well. 9. Waves were blocking part of the red stripe which had nothing to do with globe curvature. 10. After the cameraman said 1.5 stripes were blocked. 11. The reporter prompts the cameraman's next scripted response when she says, "So this can only happen why?" 12. The cameraman then answered with his scripted response by saying, "Because of the curvature of Earth." 13. I showed that everything they did was pre-planned to deceive the Mark Sargent, the other flat earther with him as well as any future globe believers who would watch later. 14. I show that this event was arranged to discredit flat Earth and to keep truth seekers from even looking at flat Earth. 15. I showed that if the target was actually showing curvature there would be no water behind them. Yet the horizon was still far behind them. That's just another point showing their deception. A point they never expected us to see. If National Geographic could prove the globe model there would have been no need for all the tricks. Why would they create a target that would make people believe the dark stripe was in the center? The target with 3 stripes above the dark stripe and just 2 stripes below the target was a magic trick to fool the mind. A deliberate and planned deception. And it worked. Not one flat earther saw the target was designed to fool them, and you can bet that not a single globe believer figured it out either. I see this as a deliberate agenda to deceive the world. And it's not the first time they have created an event to deceive the viewers. If we use critical thinking, meaning not just believing something but instead taking the time to think about it, we are better able to understand things. I say this like I have always used critical thinking. The truth is I only used critical thinking when it involved my work. After I was told Earth is flat I had to make a choice. I could laugh at him, mock him, argue with him, ignore him, or I could take the time to look into it. I am pretty sure the only reason I stopped long enough to think about it was because I have a personal relationship with Jesus. The guy who told me only said 2 words. Flat Earth. He also left a link to a video showing 200 proofs for a flat Earth. The words, flat Earth, reminded me of Genesis chapter 1. For this reason alone I decided to watch the 200 proofs. Ultimately the choice is yours to make. But think about this. If you reject flat Earth just because you have been led to believe it's ridiculous by the media and your public school programming, it may not be the best reason to ignore or mock it. Use critical thinking. Think about this for a moment. If someone wants to make you believe something that is false, they will plant things in your mind to bring you over to their side. That's called programming. Advertisers do this constantly as they try to sway you towards their products. Lawyers will plant thoughts in people's minds of the jury to try and get them to believe their client is innocent even when they know the client is guilty. Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy are a couple of things we were programmed to believe, but eventually, for most, we grow out of that stage and realize they are not true. Now more critical thinking. As children we started school and saw a globe. We were told this is where we live. Without critical thinking skills and no reason to believe our teachers would lie to us, we believe it without question. So we believed the globe model without questions the day we started school. Then we were not only taught the false facts about the heliocentric model, but we were expected to pass tests and exams. That was programming, also known as indoctrination. This programming continued for more than a decade. It became so ingrained in our minds that it is nearly impossible to believe that it was a lie to hide God. Did you see how they deceived you in their experiment that was supposed to prove the globe? I certainly hope you were paying attention. Now it's time for you to make a choice. Continue believing the narrative. Even though you have never proven any aspect of the heliocentric model we were force-fed as children in public school. Or, you can take the time to look at flat Earth truth. Flat Earth believers take the time to honestly debunk the heliocentric model. Think about how much technology has been developed specifically to deceive us. Think about the wartime rockets designed to kill people, then turned into rockets to go to the stars. All a deception to steal the minds of the public. Think about the amount of money these people take from the public in taxes that go toward deceiving us. This shows our education system called public school is programming the minds of children to believe lies. Think about the fact those in control constantly reinforce that programming through TV and the World Wide Web. We are trapped in a web of deceit. Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. God did not want thrones. He gave us free will so that we would have to make choices. We were not created to blindly follow without question. This free will has been the downfall of mankind. But life is about making the right choices. The thing is, evil people have been manipulating people all through history. Today we are under the spell of indoctrination. It's time to wake up and start testing your programming to see if it is truth. Please, do not take my word for it. It is better to research Flat Earth for yourself. You don't even have to tell anyone you are doing it. There are many experiments and observations you can do on your own. Doing your own observations and experiments will help you discover your true world. There is no faith involved. Just honest observations. Right now you believe the heliocentric model because you were programmed to believe it as a child. This was before you ever had critical thinking skills, so you just believed. Personally, I didn't tell anyone for months after I heard about Flat Earth. I continued to do observations and learned that Flat Earth is truth. Only then did I start to speak out against those deceiving our children.